All right, welcome back to the Future Forecasting Group. I'm here with Team Blue. Welcome back, everybody. How y'all doing?
I thought
Good,
we were Team
good.
Blue Sky.
I, uh,
Something.
sure, Team
Well,
Blue Sky.
every single one of us was technically a Blue Sky viewer at one point, and that's how we got into future
Hmm.
forecasting. So
I
that's
was
why.
gonna
Okay.
say, I was gonna say it'd be funny if we changed the group name every single show.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
did it actually. It
Welcome,
was Blue Sky. I've just,
welcome
you
to
know,
back to Team Blue Car.
welcome to Team Blue Owl. You can see the owl in the background. We're here to, okay.
There you go.
How did y'all feel about the target this week? I'm just going to start with Sean since he's busted my balls the most.
Well, uh, let's see. I'm actually trying to remember what this target was. I'm brushing back up on it. Oh yeah, okay. So I got like so I worked three different paper sessions on this one. The first one, I feel like I was getting a little bit of cross-pollination. I was still blind to the last target we debriefed, and I think I was still getting some residual data that seemed to relate to that one um, on my first session. My second session and third session, I got more like engineering and science related. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll just say that. I
Brian?
don't, I felt like I just kind of meandered. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Uh,
I would say this one, it had something to do with the ground, I think, and uh something on a cellular level, and then some people doing like some banishment ritual, like I don't know what's going on with that.
Derek?
yeah, I definitely got the land structure, life, human stuff. I think I picked up a group of people, and there's like fire, and it could have been something like Brian, what you're describing. Um, So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Evan?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what this target is because I got definitely some technology and kind of research and scientific aspects to this, and some stuff that might be related to the past as well.
All right, let's start with Brian. You want to walk us through your sessions?
So let's
Session.
go. Let's go.
That's what I saw for this target.
All right. Very, very interesting. So, is everyone ready for the reveal?
Yes, sir.
Ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So, target Romeo 4 Sierra 7 dash Gulf 1 Foxtrot 5. 3 days of darkness, global near future. All right, this one's pretty interesting. All right, so some of the things in your session that resonated with the target. So, Brian, you're about to get your mind blown, but this person sees reminds me a lot like Blackboard Richard Ireland. Just remember that. Sean, noxious chemical agent. Evan, target area had events in the sky, on land, and underground, had an invasion or disaster feel or undertone. And then Derek, poison or deadly chemicals used. All right, so this is the Alois Irlmaier and the 3 Days of Darkness prophecy. So I'm just going to kind of go over that, what it is, what we're talking about, why there's that big line of yellow smoke in Eastern Europe. And then we'll go through the analysis and then just a quick summary of that analysis. All right, so this fellow is Alois Irlmaier. He was a seer in Germany with some prophecies, and his method of viewing was very similar to the Blackboard method of viewing. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the prophecy. So let's start with Alois Irlmaier. Okay, I'm not going to say when he was born, but he's born kind of in 1894. He was a well builder and a dowser, so he could reliably locate water. And then his first visions were after a Madonna apparition experience. So you could say Madonna, you can say the lady, kind of a la Chris Bledsoe, but there's some element of that in this. How he saw visions like a film strip in the past, present, future, often spontaneous. He became a public advisor. He gave free consultations, credited with air raid warnings, finding missing persons, and aiding criminal cases. He's like kind of a remote viewer before remote viewers. He was actually used by the U.S. Army, by General Lucius Clay, as well as Chancellor Konrad Adenauer, um, for just like high level intelligence, basically. He was accused of fraud and the crime of jugglery. So prior records included fraud allegations and debt, not convicted, but witnesses attested to his accuracy. And he famously described the judge's wife's real-time actions during the trial. So the prophecy, which I'll go into next, is about a future world war and the ensuing 3 days of darkness, and then a coming great monarch who claimed to have, and then going back to Adenauer, he claimed to have foreseen his own death, and then he died in 1959 in Freilassing from liver cancer. He remained a practicing Catholic, although there was no formal church inquiry. Supporters note he never charged money, and he had parallels with other mystics. So that's Irlmaier. All right, now this is I'm actually going to read through a lot of this because it's pretty interesting stuff. So these were his 3 days of darkness prophecy. So there's an economic boom, then there's a loss of faith, then there's moral decay, followed by mass migration. We're kind of like in between the mass migration and the severe inflation kind of touchstone. Then there's kind of revolution. You could sense Britain's about to break, by the way, given all the diversion of resources to target social media posts. And then a sudden Russian attack on the West after a Balkan assassination. So 2 assassins kill a high-ranking figure in the Balkans. War begins overnight after a fruitful year. Numbers seen 889. Okay, so maybe it's August 8th, and who knows what the 9 is. The invasion begins with 3 armored spearheads surging across Germany toward the Rhine and the Ruhr River, kind of the Ruhr. Bridges destroyed, Rhine Valley devastated, civilian panic clogs roads. You all had imagery of this. Brian, you had imagery of like the bridgehead, which is probably the Rhine River. Derek had all sorts of chaos. So there's a WMD element. Aircraft release yellow green dust, creating a lethal strip from the Black Sea to the North Sea. Supply lines severed. Eastern thrust collapses. Then there's a wide theater. Retaliation arrives from across the large water. A yellow dragon probes Alaska, Canada, but stalls. So again, this is just the words of the prophecy, but that seems like either Britain and the United States or both come across to kind of put a halt to the advance. A yellow dragon could be the Chinese probing Alaska and Canada, but that stalls. Then there's kind of a cataclysm, an object dropped into the ocean triggers tsunami and quakes. Parts of southern England submerge, climate anomalies. So the Russians have the Poseidon torpedo, which is basically a nuclear torpedo that you can detonate underwater and it causes tsunamis. Then there's associated political upheaval. Paris burns by internal revolt, turmoil in Italy, and the papacy flees. Later, Russia undergoes revolution and a religious revival or renewal. And then there's 72 days of darkness and poisonous dust. Power fails. Stay indoors. Seal windows. Avoid exposed food, water. Candlelight only. And then the outcome: the invading armies are destroyed near the Rhine. A great monarch is crowned after 3 nines, which is also very, very strange. I'll explain after this, the 3 nines thing. And then a long period of peace follows. All right, so let's go into some of the analysis. So with that ends my presentation. That was pretty creepy, don't you think?
Fascinating target. I think in my first session, where it felt like it was in the past. That was the Erlmeyer aspect. And then my others, that's why it didn't make sense that it felt like it was past and then future. And it makes sense now. So that's, yeah,
Well, the other
nice work,
thing that I
guys.
didn't address, the thing I didn't address was all this imagery that people were seeing of high technology and scientists and stuff like that. That might be
Yeah,
tied to this, whatever this yellow curtain is, right? It might not be
yeah.
like a traditional chemical weapon, but something even nastier.
I definitely got a sense of secret and probably mad science, especially if it's going to lead to what he described. Man, do we have to go down this road? Let's come
I
What
remember
do you
a
mean?
long
This
on,
is the
humanity.
best target ever. This is the
Let's
best
no, no,
target
no.
ever.
What I'm
There's a
saying
lot
is
of stuff.
humanity. Come on, let's take a different road here. We've got
Uh,
time.
Evan, what'd you think?
That was an interesting target. I think I'm definitely gonna have to come back and watch this again to see all of the information that came through here. But yeah, I know it was really hard for me not to just focus on the invasion theme of this whole session. You know, I tried to put it in there where I could and tried to look in other directions, but it was there was a lot of invasion imagery that I've got on this
Yeah, you
session.
had missiles. You had missiles
Mhm.
flying, and I completely forgot that. I didn't even. I should have put it done another page with all that stuff. So, well, you also had, shells. They look classically like a shell. And again, I didn't even notice that was a BIMP until I looked. Just look at a top-down view of a BIMP, and it looks. I mean, specifically, it's a BIMP 2 that you drew. Like
Okay.
that's how specific it is. I wonder what the timing is because we have this 8-8, not according to our data, but according to the prophecy. So that could be August 8th and then 9, maybe 29. But Evan, you did a lot of work on the timeline. Where do you think this fits on all that?
What the date that I got was April 26th.
and
So, I mean, in the
Did you get a
spring.
year?
I did not get a year, just greater than 90 days from now.
Let's see. So
Was I the only one who got a movement order for timeline?
Yeah, I didn't get a timeline
Okay.
order.
no,
You got to be our guinea pig.
but April 26th, so like 2026 or a specific day?
Just the month and the day was April 26th. I did not get a year.
Oh, you don't think it was April of 2026?
No, no, that the date that I got
Okay.
was April I'll share that. Was
Yeah, if it happens 50 years from now, it'll be April 26th.
yeah, I got
Yeah.
April 26th for just the day.
And given that you saw kind of what the target was now, what particular aspect of all this do you think April 26 is? Like the initial invasion, the wall of noxious chemicals, or whatever the heck it is?
It could be anything because I mean this is not something that's going to happen just overnight. It's gonna there's going to be a lead up to this
And
ultimately
it
event.
doesn't
So
sound like that. It sounds like it happens really fast. And it could happen really fast because the Russians can use the road network into Europe. And I think people would be so in shock if they just got in their tanks and just started driving as fast as possible along the road network, skirting Ukraine through some other means. It might take people by surprise. So
Yep. Yeah, when you talk about World War III, that might take a bit of time, but when the 3 days of darkness, that's isolating it to 3 days. So,
yeah, there would be signs, but again, it seemed like people were in shock, like they couldn't believe that it happened so fast. So, um, and it would just be the Russians driving toward the Rhine, and by the time they got there, they'd probably meet us or the Brits or both, and the French maybe. So
is there any indication that the 3 days of darkness is physical darkness or
yeah,
Like,
Yeah, it's these noxious chemicals, which is why he in his vision he saw like seal your windows, don't go outside, just hunker down because it's just poison.
We had elements of radiological, but also many elements of chemical, potentially biological. Sean, did you not have some cellular data? Brian, maybe?
Brian had the cellular data. I had noxious chemicals. I had the clouds, but I also got something weird like fusion or a really powerful reaction. I saw data in the other viewers as well. I saw a lot of it in Evan's. I think maybe even in Brian's, but like there was some powerful energy release taking place too.
Yeah, so we just call that that'd all fall in under the CBurn stuff, which is what chemical, biological,
Yeah.
radiological, nuclear, and
Explosive or something like that.
yeah.
All
So
right. Any final words?
no, good stuff. We got another target due tomorrow, and
With this kind of target, you don't say final words, man.
yeah.
yeah, right.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah, Evan's timeline said tomorrow.
It's only next year at the earliest.
Yep.
We got time. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Fantastic job. You're right over target. So talk soon.
Yep.
Yeah,
See you next time.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Watch the full debrief at ffgrv.com.